Have you tried to hire a speech-language pathologist lately? If you were successful, congratulations. If you're still looking, you're not alone. Some would say there's a shortage of speech-language pathologists. Well, where did they all go? Of course, every year a number retire. Can new graduates fill these positions as well as the other vacancies? Possibly, but keep in mind it takes a long time to grow a speech-language pathologist. In previous years, the speech therapists required a bachelor's degree to be fully qualified. However, nowadays, for example, I needed to have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a clinical fellowship year before I was fully qualified. Also, the graduate classes have limited enrollment, and so the classes are often small. Maybe enough SLPs aren't graduating these days. Another reason is that due to the shortage, maybe you've had a potential candidate but lost this candidate to another agency that maybe can offer a more competitive salary or benefits package. I understand this because after 10 years, I'm still repaying my student loans. Maybe you live in a region that has challenges with recruiting and retaining speech therapists. Or maybe finding the speech therapist isn't the problem, but the budget is. Another example for me, I was happily employed with a school board, but when the budget changed, my position was eliminated. Now where would that leave you? Where would that leave your students? You know what? There's got to be some solutions. And one strategy has been to hire speech-language pathologist assistants. These people are trained to work directly with your students to provide the therapy. And so you could have several of these assistants in your school. However, they still need a qualified speech-language pathologist to supervise the programs. So now where does that leave you? Well, another solution has been telespeech or telepractice. And according to the American Speech, Language, and Hearing Association, this is what that means. Telepractice is the application of telecommunications technology to deliver professional services at a distance by linking clinician to client or clinician to clinician for assessment, intervention, and/or consultation. So you may also already use this in your school or in your district, for example, through video conferencing. So that's one example. Now, but this is great, but how can this be applied to speech therapy? Well, let me tell you. There is new software now that integrates this video conferencing platform with online interactive therapy activities and tools. TinyEYE Technologies integrates interactive therapy activities and controls that allow the speech-language pathologist to perform live therapy online. So the speech therapist and the students hear and see each other online while interacting with the therapy games that are on the screen. And so I have had the pleasure to work with TinyEYE's team of software developers to create effective and engaging online therapy tools for the speech therapists and the students to enjoy. So that's great, but how does that help you with the speech therapy shortage? Well, we can talk about that in two quick points. In the first one, let's look at the speech therapists that you already employ. Now, if you are working within the schools, it's quite possible that your speech therapists are driving all over the place. And so think about that in terms of budget. How much of your budget is allocated to paying for the driving time and the kilometers and other related logistics tasks that have nothing to do with one-on-one time with the client? Often, this time could be better spent performing direct therapy with your students. So, that could be a strategy to seeing more students. Now, listen to this. TinyEYE can drastically reduce the driving time and increase the therapy time for students by allowing the speech-language pathologist to stay in one location but provide quality services to multiple locations. It also provides better service for schools that do not receive as much services anyway due to the remote location. So in short, this software can improve service, it can increase SLP job satisfaction. Whew, a day off of driving and seeing more clients, I'm getting it done. And also it can reduce district costs, improve the budget. Budget! So that's great for your current SLPs, but what if you need another SLP or just an SLP in general? Sometimes even the private speech therapists are too busy or too far away to make it feasible to hire them and pay them per hour. So what about this? What if you could contract a qualified speech therapist from anywhere in the country who could provide one-to-one therapy with your students, help them access the curriculum, help them reach their potential, help to connect with the teachers and provide classroom strategies? Hello, that would be valuable. Well, would that open more options for you? Well, and also, do you think that a private therapist might have more incentive to work for you if he or she did not have to drive so far just to reach your schools? Instead, they could remain at their location, have access to all the software's activities and tools, and still provide quality therapy services to the students at all of your remote locations. So again, in short, TinyEYE, this software can increase hiring options for you. This is good news for the kids, you know? So, long story short, if you see how this telepractice could be of great value to you, maybe you're a special education director or a teacher or another therapist, why don't you go ahead and contact us and we can talk more about some strategies for you. Try TinyEYE at 1-877-846-9393, or you can email me directly at Marnie, that's MARNEE, at TinyEYE.com. TinyEYE is TinyEYE.com. Marnie at TinyEYE.com. Let's collaborate. Let's make it happen for the kids. There are solutions.